Picking the right microphone is a big decision, not just for the quality of your content, but also for your wallet. If you've watched any large creator in the last few days, you've probably seen this, the Shure SM7B, a microphone that by itself costs around 400 USD. And then you add a mixer, XLR cables, a cloud lifter, all of which are needed to make it work, and suddenly it's usually over $1,000. So the question I want to answer today is, can a microphone such as the Fifine K688 that costs just 10% of that price sound just as good? And that's why the very first thing we're doing is, that's right, blind audio samples. The challenge for you, dear viewer, is to pick out which microphone is which. Can you tell which is the Shure SM7B, the K688? And of course, it wouldn't be a stream scheme video if I didn't bust out the Samson Q2U, our current challenger. Let's listen to those clips. This is audio clip A. Hey guys, if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member for just $1 a month. This is audio clip B. Let me know in the comments what you think of this microphone. How does it sound to you? If you want to buy any of the microphones shown in today's video, then you can check them out at my Kitco, which is linked in the description. This is audio clip C. How does it sound to you? Does it sound nice? Does it sound clean? Does it sound like it's 75 USD? Or does it sound like it's 999 USD? With that done, I really recommend commenting your guess because we're giving away a Fifine K688 to you guys in the comments. I bought this one back in August 2023. I've been testing and planning this video for a long time. So long, in fact, that Fifine reached out and offered to send me one. So instead, I told them to send you guys one. Stick around to the end of the video to learn how to win that. Okay, let's talk about why I picked these three microphones. Well, in order for me to recommend a mic to you guys, it has to meet a lot of criteria. I am an incredibly picky person. Let's walk through what I look for and talk a bit more about the K688 while we're at it. First, it has to be USB plus XLR. While you might think I'm being pedantic about this, if I am going to spend money on a microphone or recommend you guys spend money on a microphone, then we should expect to be able to use it for years. When I bought the AT2020 Plus as a new streamer off a certain tech influencer's recommendation, I hadn't thought about the fact when I wanted to move to a real mixer like the Roland Bridgecast that I'd not just be spending money on the mixer, but an entire new microphone as well. It really felt like I wasted money buying a microphone that was only USB. On the topic of money, for me to recommend a microphone, the second criteria is it has to be budget. And when I say budget, I am meaning $100 or less. I don't care what anyone else says. If it's over $100, it is not a budget microphone. So do these microphones fit that criteria? Well, obviously the Shure SM7B doesn't meet that criteria, but it is probably the most used microphone in professional content creation. So I am including that as the top end professional challenger today. Now, if you've watched this channel before, you know the Samson Q2U does, and it's been over 3 years now without me ever recommending another microphone. Well, until now. The K688 has honestly surprised me. When I first plugged it in, this is what happened. All right. Oh. Coming in at around 75 USD, it is absolutely meeting the budget criteria. And that's not including the bundles that I found on Amazon when I was looking to check the price in USD. Talking about bells and whistles, it has two knobs on the bottom, one for quickly controlling microphone gain and the other for headphone volume. If you want to have real-time monitoring for your voice and your PC, you can plug your headphones into the bottom of the microphone, which is something the Samson Q2U can do as well. But the problem I've had with the Samson is if I want to adjust the headphone volume, I have to click these little buttons, and because they're clicking, it actually comes up and gets picked up in my recording. Of course, it goes without saying a microphone needs to sound great, and as you likely have heard in this video, because I've used it for almost the entire thing now, the K688 does sound pretty damn good for its price bracket. As someone with quite a nasally or gravelly voice, I always expect microphones to sound awful when I first plug them in, and I have to do a lot of work to make my voice sound good. But actually, there is a really warm or full, rich tone to this mic that I kind of love. The only filter I have added to this microphone is a compressor filter. Otherwise, there's no effects or EQ at all during this recording, which has surprised me a lot because I have not just my air conditioning blasting in the background, but I can also hear my daughter playing outside my office door, and I'm willing to bet you guys can't hear that. Now, this is because the K688 is a dynamic microphone, which thankfully most companies making mics for streamers are moving this direction. But essentially, microphones can either be dynamic or condenser. The difference between these is a bit complicated for this video, so instead let's simplify it down by saying dynamic is less sensitive, meaning you tend to place it closer to yourself and adjust the gain or levels to match, which helps naturally reject background noise. Naturally, a microphone like this is going to be a cardioid polar pattern, which is fairly common. It means it picks up sound from the front and rejects off-axis noise, As you can see, when I move like this, I suddenly disappear, which is fantastic because it means that everything else that's going on around will also disappear. But I can't just tell you that. Let's actually show it. Let's give it a test. Coming up, we will reveal the blind sample results and how to enter the giveaway. But of course, let's do the test first. As you can see, I've got my mic very close to my keyboard. Normally, I wouldn't have my microphone this close, but I just want to get an example. That's about what I expected without any effects or anything. Now let's get further away where I would actually sit when I'm playing with my mic. This is me typing away at my keyboard. As you can hear, it is underneath my voice. Yeah, that's very usable. All right, let's put a default expanding filter on. Now I'm going to talk. 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 This is me talking while I have a default expander on. You can probably hear my chair quite a lot. I got my squeaky one out of the garage today for this one. I'm moving around. It's squeaking. Can you hear it in the background at all? A lot of people don't really do this, but I like to move around a lot while I stream. So I kind of am constantly moving my mic and doing things. So I'm curious how this is going to sound. Lift my mic up, put my mic down. This is me speaking on the mic at about 3 centimeters away. It's about where you would speak into a microphone, especially a dynamic microphone. This is me about an arm's length away from the microphone. I'm not going to adjust the gain at all. I'm still talking as I normally would. And now I'm going to boost the gain to match the level so you can hear the background noise if you're not on top of the microphone. This is me about 2 arms lengths away. Again, I'm not going to project further. I'm not going to boost this audio right away. I'm just going to let you hear how it sounds. And now I'm going to boost the audio so you can hear what the background sound sounds like. Breaking it down, I have to say I am kinda shocked. This microphone is $75 USD. For that price, I didn't expect such a solid build quality. I didn't expect such a clean and warm sound straight out of the box. The test showed exactly what I'd expect from any dynamic microphone. The fall off is near instant the moment you step away from the mic, but is that a bad thing? It just means that all the background sound is also going to fall away, remember? The keyboard test blew me away. While actually doing it and typing, I was watching the levels in OBS and thought, damn, it's screwed, it's not gonna work. And then listening back, I was so surprised at the rejection. Now, before I tell you whether or not I would recommend this mic, I would love to hear in the comments, what do you think about the results? What do you think about the microphone? Is this something that you would consider getting for yourself based on what you've seen today? And now, as it stands, can I add this microphone to my very short list of one other microphone that I recommend? Yeah. In fact, I might start recommending this instead of the Samson Q2U. It's about 15 to 20 bucks cheaper, I can see, across the board, and technically for the same price as the Samson, you could get the K688 in a bundle. I'll tell you how to enter the giveaway in a second, but for those keen to know the results of the blind samples, well, blind sample A was the K688 with absolutely zero filters, effects, the gain knob was at max, and my Windows sound settings at 36%. I literally plugged it in and took an audio sample, which sounds incredibly unfair, but I think it did really well. In fact, I did the same thing with the Samson Q2U as well, which of course still sounds amazing as audio clip B. And of course, to continue being incredibly unfair, audio clip C, the Shure SM7B is not just plugged into my Roland Bridgecast, but it has a cloud lifter, a compressor, a low cut de-esser, noise suppression, and I've even got custom EQ. Can you hear it? Does C sound that much better? Let me know in the comments. Because if you said yes, you're a liar. Sample C is just the K688 again, but this time with a compressor filter and a basic, barely touched 3-band EQ where I slightly dropped the mids and lows and raised the highs. That's it. But if you actually want to hear the clip of the Shure SM7B with all those things, this is that for comparison. And this is the Shure SM7B. I think you can hear a difference. Obviously, you can hear a difference, but this cost me over $999, and the other stuff cost a fraction of that. If you want to go in the draw to win this microphone, all you have to do is comment hashtag Fifine, what you'd use the microphone for, and very important, please comment your Twitter or Discord username so I can contact you if you win. We'll be picking someone at random from the comments and letting them know very soon. If you guys enjoyed this, then I really would appreciate if you consider becoming a member for just $1, and I'll see you guys next week.